Yo, it's your boy Dean.
Tim.
Terrell.
Got another episode of the Dean's Office. Again, I want to thank everybody for for watching us, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. We're slowly getting to 200 subscribers, so we really appreciate. We had a good time. We was on the prayer line last week, or this week, or however the week good when it comes out.
Sunday's the start of a new week, so last week.
Yeah, okay. So we interacted with the New Shallow family, our church that we attend, New Shallow Missionary Baptist Church in Miami, Florida. And then I guess other people log on to participate. And so this week we got 4th of July. We excited?
No, it's on a Tuesday. I go to work tomorrow, then I got to go to work Wednesday. I don't know why the U.S. did that.
I feel the same way.
So they should
give us like
the 4th of July needs to be like Thanksgiving. If it's gonna maneuver around, we need a day and after. If it's not on the weekend, they need to give us a day before and a day after. If they really patriotic, give us another day.
I feel you.
So if it falls on Wednesday, you want them to give you Tuesday and
no. If it fall on Wednesday, I would like Wednesday, Thursday.
If they give us Wednesday, Thursday, fine. I'm okay with it. Like it's like Thanksgiving. They understand what happens if it's a U.S. holiday. U.S. holidays where it's something that important happened to us, they need to allow us to celebrate
and then get up. I got you. I got you.
Like, and I want to just give a big shout out. I'm really getting into the WNBA, so I'll actually watch one of the games.
Get this in.
I had to get it in. I actually watched one of the games. Huh?
Who was the two teams that played?
The two teams?
Yeah.
One of the teams was the Las Vegas Aces. They're probably the top team in the league right now. They only lost one game. They're 14-1.
It's the Las Vegas, not Los Angeles.
I said Las Vegas.
Okay.
You did.
Okay.
See, you trying to catch him.
You just heard of Las Vegas Aces, and they were playing against the Connecticut something. I don't remember what it was. But that kid,
who won the championship last year?
But Las Vegas.
Okay.
But the team that they played on Saturday they had the second best record. They was 14-5 or something. One of those numbers. So it was good. It was good to watch it.
Did you know 20 games have already passed in the WNBA? Or you just like, wow, they played 20 games.
Listen, I was aware that many games. I was aware they only lost one game. Like I skim it, you know what I'm saying? I keep
the Aces only lost one game.
Yeah, the Aces only lost one game. And they got I think they got like 3 of the baddest ladies in the league right now.
Yeah, so they on
Plum, track. Wilson, and I forgot the other lady name.
They be dunking and stuff.
No, that's
you heard what Shaq said? He said that if you want to make the WNBA more interesting, they should lower the goal by 2 or 3 feet.
2 or 3 inches. He said 2 or 3 inches.
Feet, man, they're big. You're an idiot, man. All right, let's go. Again, we got I think a very interesting episode. A lot happened this past week, so we're gonna get into it. Let's go, yo.
World, you're needed in the Dean's office.
Okay, so we had a lot happen this week. We're gonna try to go through as much of those as possible for this episode. So the first thing we're gonna kind of discuss or touch on is they got a ruling from the Supreme Court and the student debt that President Joe Biden tried to pass. They struck it down, so eliminating that. So it looks like we won't be getting the student debt relief that we thought we was going to get when Joe Biden, he promised us. So what do you thought about that, and how do you feel? Because again, all of us went to college, picked up some debt in that process. How do y'all feel about that ruling, and what you think as far as going forward?
You going first, Tim?
Nah, you go first, Terrell.
I think it was justified. One, the route that he took in order to pass it was wrong. He tried to bypass or circumvent the system by going away from the Congress and the House and all that other stuff.
Because they wasn't going to let it pass.
They was going to get it, and the reason why they wasn't going to pass because he didn't provide a fiscally, sound way to eliminate the debt. All he was doing was saying we're going to make the taxpayers pay for other people's debt for a choice that they made on their own that benefited them. Like you go to school to get higher income. So that's the reap your reward. And like we talked about this a year ago.
That's a false statement, but
What do you mean?
yeah,
People with degrees make more money.
Yeah, but
It's not a false statement.
No, you can't. They tell you that, but that's
a fact.
No, because again, it depends on
it depends on what place you go to.
The reason why I say that because I'm gonna ask you this: if say a teacher, say you want to be a teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
We picking that, and the teacher make 45,000 a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they make less. And someone who works at McDonald's, say a manager, they make 15. That comes out to about 30,000, right? But that person that's making 30,000 has no debt, but the teacher has $90,000 worth of debt. Yes, in principle, you make more money, but you're still just as poor as that person that make 30. Is what I'm saying. Because it doesn't. That's like a risk when you put in an investment, right? Would you buy this house if the value depreciate? Now you under upside down in the loan. Right, so that's what I mean. Yes, you can. Yes, statistically, you look at it. Yeah, she went to college. She make 45. That person make 30, but that person is paying $400 or $500 in student loans compared to that person who's not. So we're balanced into where you're probably making the same.
I mean, but one that's an extreme example using the example of a teacher and
why?
Because
those are the people who get affected.
No, the appropriate example would have been if you would have used two teachers, right? Even if you use two teachers and you say this one. Your income is going to be more than someone who hadn't been in college, one. And then two.
It don't make sense. Both teachers went to school.
No, what I'm saying is if
tell me.
If one teacher, if you're a teacher with a degree, you're going to make more than a teacher who doesn't have a degree. Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? So what I'm saying is you got to compare industries, one. And then when it comes to income, that's your income. You can't count that.
Yes, you have. That's why I'm telling you they're tricking you with the numbers.
They're not tricking you. So what you're saying is net worth. I'm saying income. If you want to make more,
I understand. What I'm telling you is that statement is misleading because you can make more, but if I'm making more money, but I'm pushing out more. So meaning if I'm spending $500 a month on debt, right? You get what I'm saying? The gap of which you lose out if I'm not paying $500, but you making $9,000 more than me, right? So you really going to school to average 1,000 or 2,000 more than me because I don't have to pay that expense. The incomes only matter when how much you put out, how many debt or expenses rather.
And then on top of that, see that's the beginning stage. Also, there's advancement. People with degrees advance more than people without degrees. So if you don't have a degree, you're going to stay in an entry-level position. Those with degrees tend to climb up the ladder more because that's the requirement there. Once you get the experience, you're going to go somewhere, your income is going to increase. When you don't have a degree, you don't climb up the corporate ladder as fast as someone with a degree. So degrees are beneficial. You get what I mean?
I ain't say it wasn't beneficial.
No, this is what I'm saying. Degrees, but that's my point. To get that degree, you have to make some type of sacrifice. Yeah, it sucks. Most of the people didn't have a means to get the degree, and a loan is a way to get the degree. But with anything that you're given, there's a consequence that you have to pay back. And I just think if you benefit from it, you should do your part to pay it. Why, as a taxpayer, my income has to go higher? Because you saying I don't want to pay something back that you benefited from.
And I'm going to tell you why, because it's predatory. Because again, what
does that have to do with the taxpayer?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because you as the government are loaning me $20,000, but expecting me to pay back $50,000.
That's exactly what it is.
I'm a taxpayer.
Yes,
that's what it was.
Yes, but I'm gonna explain. Yes, and I'm gonna explain to you.
Please
let me explain to you.
Uh-huh.
Do you feel the same about the roads?
About the roads?
The roads. So when they build bridges, a bridge that you never cross. Are you okay with paying for that?
I'm okay with paying for that.
Yeah, why? But you ain't using it. Why I gotta what? Yeah, I
use the road every day.
No, but you don't. What I'm saying to you is, if I'm a person, because your rule is because it don't benefit me. I don't need to pay for it.
No.
Yes,
that's not what I said.
Yes,
that's not what I said.
But I'm gonna tell it's the same thing.
No, it's not.
No, hear me out. For you to go to work, you need to go on the road, right? Mm-hmm. So for us to pay for it, you got to pay a tax to pay for the road. But if I'm not using the road, there's no benefit. I can still make money or do my things without the road, but I got to pay for the road for you or other people that's not paying. It's the same thing as going to school. Because if you telling me I got to go to school, right, and then I'm gonna charge you, I'm gonna upcharge you. So if you said, hey, let me hold 20,000. Cause school costs 20,000, but then as I go through the next 10 years, I'm paying $50,000 worth of debt. That's again, as a government, right? As a government, you're making me pay $30,000 of
right,
what?
but change the law. Don't wipe out the debt and make me pay for it.
Yeah, but part of again, the debt wasn't wiping all your debt out. President Biden was not asking to wipe all your debt out. It was a $20,000 max limit on it. So now you're telling me again, what I'm saying is, if the government telling me I got $50,000 worth of loan, which I only use 20,000 of it, and you as the president saying we're gonna take off 20, yes, that helps. That helps in the aid of me trying to get my debt down. Again, I don't have no problem with people saying, "Oh, I didn't get mine," but there's a lot of stuff within the government uses and we pay for it that we don't benefit from. So we can't pick.
You keep all right, but if you're saying that's not what I'm saying, don't say it. I didn't say that.
Yes, that's what you said.
I did not say
Okay,
that.
what did you say?
I said I should not have to pay because of something you did. That's not me benefiting from it. I said I'm not going to pay. I am not going to pay. I'm not. So let's say I pay $10,000 in taxes, and then Biden says, "Hey, you're going to now pay $15,000 in taxes." I said, "Darn, why?" Because we're trying to eliminate other people's debt. So you're going to put me in a more precarious situation to make yours better.
So okay, so you don't believe in programs like SNAP that help mothers as far as with food stamps. You don't with daycare. With all these services we as the government pay for help other people. But when it comes to education, that people, because again, those people that go for education are making the attempt to better themselves, but we're okay with Section 8 programs. We're okay with all those other programs where we know they work in the system to get by.
Yes.
But you draw the line at school, but which they
because it's a stark difference.
How's the difference?
What do you mean?
Explain to me.
Because you, as a person who's gone through school, like we started the conversation with, you are going to advance in your life. Let's say we wipe out your debt right now, and then typically someone with a degree does get more, right? That money that you're going to get more is not going to be poured back into anywhere.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
It's you that's benefiting.
It will be poured right back into the economy.
The more money you make, the more taxes you pay. So when that person move up in that move up in the next tax bracket, you're paying more money. You're the money as you know, the higher you get in the bracket, the more money you pay. So now when that person advance, that money that you asking for them now, rather than their taxes being, remember before it was $7,000, as they start to make more than now I'm paying $15,000 like you. The money is that same money that extra you had to pay, they got to pay that extra now because they advance. That's going to help the people behind. Whereas in Section 8, all you got to do is keep having kids and you good. There's no way that you're not advancing, but yet we willing to pay for them type of programs.
And to be quite honest with you, I mean, I don't holistically agree with Section 8 anyway. I think you should have a job in order to qualify for Section 8, and then there needs to be some more stricter requirements around it. That's me. Personally.
Yeah, but you go look through the government. You go.
But that's what I'm saying. So all I'm saying is, with education, what the reason why I agree with it is because it wasn't fiscally smart to me to do that. I think people were just trying to find a way out with the student debt loan. I think it was.
But again, how can as a government, right? Because if a government is providing a service, which they do for other programs, they provide services that allows for you to get advances based on them helping you. So what I'm saying to you is, how are we okay with the government giving you $20,000 to loan to go to school, right? Which a school that they fund.
The government didn't do that though.
Yeah, hold on, listen. Yes, they did.
No, the government did not.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because those schools are funded. I'm not talking about if you go to a private school, but if you go into a public school.
But even if you get a loan,
can I finish?
The loan is not from the school.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
So again, if you get a government loan, right?
Governments don't give loans.
Yeah, but again, what I'm saying is those programs are sanctioned by government. When you get all that stuff through, when you go financial aid and all that stuff, it's the
But
government.
you don't have to pay that back.
But what I'm saying is the government monitor how that go. You giving a loan, is all I'm saying is if I'm giving you a loan, right? If you giving you a loan, you're allowing whoever gives you the loan to say we're gonna charge the rather than giving you 30, now you paying back 50. Is what I'm saying. So now you again, this is the government monitors this school. So you as a school, what I'm saying is we have to protect them. So meaning, because a shark come into a location and kill everybody. You can't say, oh, the shark killed them. Why not put those protections in place so the shark can't come in and kill those people? So what I'm saying is the reason why it's even a debate for the government to help is because the government allow for that type of behavior to be set. Because again, you can go get a student loan for $100,000, but you can't go get a house.
I know.
You can't get a car for 50.
I know.
So
but that's
you ain't even listening to what I'm saying.
I know. But you're saying that the governments are the one that give. They don't. The school don't.
You harping on. I said it doesn't matter if they physically give the loan themselves. They monitor the schools. Certain schools have to meet certain requirements to get money from the government. True, right or wrong?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
The government don't give public school. They don't give fund public schooling.
Okay,
right. So they monitor that, don't they? So they monitor the school. So again, they're not going to give if the school doesn't meet certain requirements. They will not provide that school with the funding from the government. Correct. Just yes or no. All I'm asking is don't try to outthink me or tell me I'm asking the question. So what I'm asking you is. A school that's public school doesn't receive government funds into that school. Yes. Okay. Right? So for them to continue to do that, doesn't it require certain requirements for that school to continue to get them funds?
Okay.
Right? So what I'm saying is they know the people that patrons those schools are getting whoever's providing these loans, they know that they're the predatory loans. So if the government can monitor, let me finish. And then you can go. If the government can monitor a school to make sure they're meeting certain requirements and so forth to get the money from them, right? So now the same thing can be required as if you as Sally Mae, if this my school, the public school, I get it, the private public school, you can't come in here and say now that your student loan there's a 35% interest on your loan.
Right.
So now we putting so now what I'm saying is so if you come to those schools and say if this is a school that's funded by the government, you come to those schools, now you only could do a loan for 3%, 1%, 2%.
But they have that. And you have the choice to choose whether or not for the percentage or not. Not all the loans require
but you have are there loans that give you more? Is this an option for because again, that's like asking a poor person to make a quality decision when he's starving. I'm asking you that it should be across the board where I'm not asking someone who's have a dream, no, they can't afford to be here. Of course they're gonna make just like when you sign a record deal. Every time you hear these artists say they signed a deal because they was poor and a man came and gave them money. And now when they come back and look at the contract, it's a pluck contract because we know I didn't have no leverage. I was in a pluck. So what I'm saying is regardless of the fact the government should be in charge and monitoring that because again, it would have been different if you asking me, I come to if I go to school to whoever and say loan me $20,000, I don't want to pay it back. That's different than you saying now I've been paying my loans for the past 10 years and I still owe $30,000 and I only owe 20.
But this is what I'm trying. This is all I'm trying to say. All that stuff is already regulated when you go through when you ask for the loan. It tells you the different types of loans that you can get. And the reason why I don't necessarily agree with the government like mandating those things, because the people that are loaning you money, they're not doing it out of the kindness of their heart. They're trying to make money.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
do they have other regulations on people that make money?
Hold on.
Even they break up like Microsoft. It was Microsoft. They made them split into two different because they was dominant. I think it was Microsoft. They made them split the company. When you dominate the industry, the government forced you to split that in to be competitive, so you don't overcharge the market or whatever you want because you only provide the only services. What I'm saying is if the government could come in and tell you that, boom, you can have abortions. You can't have abortion, but if you can, it got to be this way. If the government can tell you can do X, Y, and Z, you got to wear a seatbelt, even though I'm the only one going to die, right? If the government can regulate your personal life, I don't see there's any problem with them regulating. Again, if all three of us own a loan company and all three of us have to only charge 2%, now you as a consumer can say, I'm going to go with them because they nicer. I go with them because they do this. But again, the money that will be owed will still be same across the board. We all can still service this community and compete for that business based on other things other than the amount. Is what I'm saying.
No, but I actually agree with controlling the price, right? I agree. Long term, control the price of schools, especially public schools. They shouldn't raise their tuition. It should be at a cap, right? Isn't that the problem? What the student loan debt?
The biggest thing is for the government, if they truly want to help, is to cut back on the cost to go to school.
Right.
If you cut back the cost of going to school, we wouldn't have to worry about getting loans, right? When it comes to at least the public school system. So if we can correct that part, then we don't have to worry about it. The reason I'm saying that they should allow the government to pay, at least take $20,000 off is you take that off, that's less stress off the consumer. Now they're pouring back into the community. Now they're buying more stuff from the stores around them. Now they're buying more things to help us with the GDP, whatever we're trying to do, right? The gross, you know what I'm talking about. The gross, whatever it is, the profit.
You got
right?
it off TV.
And that's,
we heard them mention it before.
And that's what the opportunity he was saying was, if you do that, take this ease off of these households, they are going to pour back into the community. They're not going to rely on me so much as in saying they need food stamps. They're not going to rely on me much to pay for childcare, because if I took that $20,000 off, now they'll be able to pour into that themselves and make them just a little bit more self-sufficient and not rely on the government as much. But that's the whole thing. What I say why they should have done it. But we all know why they didn't do it, because those companies that do all the loan are saying, you know what, you cutting out on my profit.
No, that's not it.
You are cutting out on the profit, Terrell.
No,
because look,
how?
The interest on a loan, if I do $20,000 on a loan on the interest, you take that $20,000 away from me, where's my interest I'm getting on the loan as a company? Right? Now, if you say $40,000 and you take $20,000, I'd rather take interest over $40,000 loan than the $20,000, right? So that's what they hurting the company. It's not for anybody. It's not beneficial for anybody else, but the company that loans the money to you.
But what? But do you think that's fair for that to happen to that company? That they
Yes,
lose that money? Why?
yes, and I broke it down to you. If you're using tactics, right, to take advantage of a community, right, that you know, again, it like Tim said, we know because it costs a lot to attend school, right? So again, if I know as a business, knowing, boom, I got them in the corner. Whatever I give them, just like when you go to the Dolphin Stadium or whatever the stadium called now, you walking in the water $10. They're taking advantage of an opportunity because you have no other resource to get that water, right? But with education, being able to have some restrictions on it and better modifying to make sure that they're not taking advantage. So now, if you as a consumer understand that you it's $20,000 I'm giving you. You got $20,000. You probably might have to pay back 23, right? 23,000. You get what I'm saying? So now that's what you know you paying. The school costs you 23. You ain't doing whatever. Blah blah blah. It helps that person, because now I'm not worried about student loan when I'm coming out. That $500 something a month I'm paying on student loans, I could pay for childcare. I could pay for whatever it is that's pouring back in the community. Because me as if I own a daycare and I'm full because everybody can pay for the projects that I'm going to run my business, it's beneficial to the community. Whereas the company that's making million, and again, yeah, they lose million, but it's not to where it impacts them going out of business.
You don't know that. We just saw a bank go in California.
Yeah,
go
because again they over leverage themselves.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you can't
even with the bank, because remember Trump took those restrictions on, because they had restrictions on banks to where because what they did was over leverage themselves. They intake all this money, and then when the people came to come get their money, they didn't have it. So because they was investing so much of it, they didn't have the physical
But
money to give.
I'm
No, but what I'm saying is that was still a restriction on it because again, they know if you're by you collecting all this money not being able to do to it kills the economy and as well those people servicing the bank. They had restrictions on it. And Trump took those off and then it impacted them so forth, blah, blah, blah. So what I'm saying, all I'm telling you is I'm not arguing, I'm not telling you, yeah, you right, you wrong about that we shouldn't pay our loans. What I'm saying is the system has to be better monitored and regulated to where we're not working just to pay loans. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we saying the same thing then.
No, we not, because you talking about if we already know this, if you already know they hit me for 30,000 that I shouldn't have got hit for, eat that.
No, but see the terms I shouldn't have is kind of relative because it's the law today. They are able to do it. You can't
because it's the law makes it right. That's what
everything that you do with
no, not everything. When stuff is done by law, it doesn't make it right. Morally right is what I'm saying. Well, all I'm telling you is, again, just like an artist that signs a deal and they come back 5 years later and realize that the people got them because they offered me $10,000. I was not aware. I was not knowledgeable.
That's your fault.
No. But again, if you have the opportunity to correct that.
Yeah, after the fact, but don't pay me money. Don't make me pay for your mistake. Like, sign the law. Good, great. 3% interest only. You can't get this much student loans. Yeah, after the fact, but don't raise my taxes to make up for that mistake. If anything, you don't raise my tax. I want to see that it's going to be something that is going to really help the American. Like you brought up the road with the roads, the infrastructure. It's going to help because guess
not
what?
Everybody
the property value is going to go up if you live in that city.
But again, everybody. Again, I stay in an apartment. Everything doesn't affect everybody. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Everything does not. When we pay into stuff, it does. There's a lot of stuff we pay for our taxes that does not affect us or help us or benefit us in any way, and we still pay for it. All I'm just saying is we can look beyond ourselves and say, understand, there's a community of people that need help. Help them.
No, they don't. There's a community of people that's being inconvenienced.
What you mean?
It's the difference between needing help and being inconvenienced.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you telling me that I can barely pay my rent because I have to pay an extra $500, it's that they need help.
Lower your rent.
Now you see, boy, you sound just like you was arguing to me about me hating. It ain't that like saying pull yourself up by your bootstrap. No, there are circumstances of which we cannot.
Yes, you can.
All right, you got it. You right.
Any last
Even
words?
if I don't get no money, I still think people should get money.
No, I agree that what they should have done. I know Biden came in to say he was going to go between $15,000 and $20,000. I just think he had to go that route because of the Congress and how it was not going to get passed. The people in Congress do not care about their constituents because constituents, whatever it is, constituents. There you go, constituents. They only care about the people who's back in their pockets, and the people who back in their pockets are the ones who own these loans, and they can do everything they can to go in their favor. They know that if they do it that way, the economy will go up because more people will pour more back into the community if they had that money. But if I live in Miami and I have to pay a student loan, my rent is high. My mortgage is high.
Just move. You can tell.
You get what I'm saying?
You can tell now privileged people talk.
Now all of a sudden, I can't. And for me, if I do it, I just can't get up and move because what? How much money do you make? How much money you can make that actually pay your bills and you can save at the same time? And I have a college degree, right? That's what people are debating with all the time. Is yes, I live in a place that costs so much money, but I can't afford to move to go to North Carolina and start all over again. I can't move over to just north of in Tallahassee because I just can't afford it. But if you cut back on that payment I have to pay student loan, how a person some people owe $30,000 in student loan, and I got to come out of my pocket $600-700 to make the payment. How does that make sense?
He don't care. He don't long as he.
You know what I'm saying? So
my tax is good, protected.
I think the what was that? The Supreme Court. I don't think they should have ruled in that manner, and I don't think they're thinking about the American people.
All right. So next topic, Supreme Court affirmative action. So the Supreme Court ruled that colleges and universities should not take or use race as a basis for admission. That they should take in consideration the basis of the person's experiences, the qualifications, SAT scores, grades, all the extracurricular stuff that they do, whatever. The affirmative action was in there in the first place to allow black people, or not only black people, but all people non-white, the ability to get into college. I think I saw somewhere that Harvard University didn't accept their first black person until like 100 years later, or something like that. Even I was watching Stephen A. on his podcast, and he brought the fact that Clarence Thomas, the black man right here on the Supreme Justice, was the second Supreme Justice. You know who the first was? Thurgood Marshall. Mm-hmm. And this guy who was on here was there because of affirmative action.
That way he got accepted to schools.
He got accepted to all his schools, and all his education was due to affirmative action. He was one of the ones that ruled yes to take away affirmative action, so kind of contradictory. But yeah, so just wanted to kind of bring that up and get y'all thoughts on that. Timbo, Mr.
Education man. Now, I think a lot of school, we can go back to what Tavares was saying about public funding. A lot of school will base they get their funds from public funding, meaning that I graduate students from early, and the ones who graduate students early are the ones who are more of a privilege because they had the best preparation to get to college. They have the best tutoring to get them the SAT scores and all that stuff, and to give them an advantage to par. But the people who are not as affluent, don't have access to those type of programs to allow them to build up their SAT scores or the ACT scores. When it comes to affirmative action, that it's once again, it puts schools in a place to say, you know what, I want to diversify my school student body. Right? And that's one of the reasons to make it more appealing to the government, make it more appealing to everybody else. So, yes, I think it's important because now they put those schools on radar, like a Harvard, like a Yale, like a Brown University, all these top tier schools. It helps them to say, you know what, let's open the door out to more people. Not giving them an advantage per se, but it's just now you just open it up to more vast community. What I did like about a lot of those schools was, even though I don't think it was geared towards black people, if you was first generation low income, you got accepted to the school, there's a great chance you wouldn't have to pay for your education, because they was trying to bring more attention to their school, right? They was trying to bring more color to their school, right? And I think that's going to go away now because they don't have to do it no more. So why are you trying to attract these people to come to the school? So I've been thinking about this a lot, and I still trying to think about it, still trying to wrap my head around it. So maybe when we continue talking, more stuff might pop up in my head. But go ahead.
No, I mean just from my perspective, I just think from my perspective, I think that I'm disappointed in the ruling, right? And I feel like it does give opportunity for a school because I'm gonna just put it this way from my experience. So I went to a white school, right? In a white town, white city, everything was white. And I think it also impact those people that do go to the school. So like if you do have, we had on our school, when I went to school, where they had like a culture day and provided gumbo and all kind of racist stuff to show that they love black people, right?
Yeah.
But again, it was only done because you had people in the administration and student body that was African American that understood that we tired of eating bland food, we tired of eating food that's not seasoned correctly. So they said, you know what, let's do something to gear towards the black athletes. Because everybody who went to school was an athlete. Either you was white or black, and everybody that was black was an athlete, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody else was white. So what they wanted to do, and it was a selling point too, as far as when they was recruiting, to say, hey, you know, look, we cater to you know, to that community. We have programs. They will bus us. Matter of fact, they will bus us to a Baptist church, a black Baptist church that was an hour and a half away from the town, because there was no other black churches It was a Mormon town or whatever, Mormon, because the school I went to was a Mormon school as well. But there was no black schools within that parameter where they would literally get us on the bus, which I ain't never go, because you ain't gonna get me up early, you ain't get me on the bus to go. But they would bus us so we can go to a black church. So they did things to try to cater to that community, to a black community. Whereas I think once you take out that aspect of being more conscious, I think affirmative action made schools more conscious about being thoughtful and mindful of the other communities that attend their school. Whereas, and again, everybody that made it in affirmative action, they still had to meet all the other requirements as far as education wise to get in there. It's just now we want to make our campus and so forth a little bit more diverse and add more people into it. So I was very disappointed into it. And I, in all honesty, I think a lot of what's going on is everybody pissed that Trump lost the second time.
Yeah,
and I also think that they're just, this is like you said as well, because most of the people who making this stuff now on there are Trump appointed.
Yeah,
and he have a lot of appointed people in it, and he made, like they said, because he was able to do that, he's gonna make impact on us for the rest of our lives because of what he did.
My take on it is, again, I was disappointed as well. And the reason why I was disappointed, as I kept on reading, because I wanted to understand it before I had a reaction. Because before I didn't have a reaction, I'm like, affirmative action. I mean, that was something that was created in the 60s. Do we still need it? Was you kind of your first thing. Mm-hmm. But then I started thinking about it and started reading, and I saw a few people say that they have data on top of data. If you want to make somewhere diverse, you have to take race into consideration.
Exactly.
Because people from the same race are going to have similar types of backgrounds, and they're going to have similar type of ideas. Like the best teams are teams that are made up of people with different ideas. So you can, because think about it. When I went to the University of Central Florida, and the reason why I chose that over HBCU, one, because of the cost. The HBCU I was considering was about 3 times more expensive.
What HBCU was considering?
Bethune-Cookman. Yeah. They're expensive. So the reason why I went to University of Central Florida is because it was cheaper, one. But in doing that, I met a lot of diversity there, and meaning I was exposed to people of all cultures, white cultures, different type of things, and that's why I kind of lean on going to public schools. That's a little bit more diverse in that way. And why I kind of lean away from HBCUs, just so that you can get people from different backgrounds. And I bring that point up to say that's what this affirmative action is sort of taken away, because a lot of people agree that the best way to make things diverse is to take race into consideration. Now, I understand why people are upset if they take slots from deserving people, but then again, you shouldn't give those slots to someone who isn't deserving. So let's say if you have 2 people who are equally deserving, what's going to be the game breaker there? Like, we need a diversity hire. We need to make things more diverse. We want to take in consideration so that people can learn from people. That's why you go to college, so you can learn from the people that you attend college with. So that was my whole thing with it. I guess the conservative people are just saying that it's reverse racism. If you take race into consideration at any point, I think they're just putting that as a veil, because they see that numbers for white enrollments and those type of things are dropping, and they're just trying to slowly take away things they consider woke.
I think even when it comes to the white enrollment dropping, I just think those white people don't want to go to that school no more. It's nothing appealing about that school.
Yeah, this case was Harvard, and I was shocked to see that I think about 30 or 40% of people are white that go to Harvard. Of that, I think like 75% of them are legacy, meaning that their parents went. That's why they were able to go.
And let's not note it was an Asian person that filed the lawsuit.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't a white. I mean, even though I'm pretty sure they would fund it backdoor, but it was Asian.
Yeah, Asian people don't like black people anyway.
What?
I concur to that.
Yeah,
y'all can concur to that?
They don't.
But you know what? I'm gonna take it like this though. There's a lot you would think minorities stick together, but a lot of minorities don't like minorities.
Yeah, I know that part.
Even for black people, there's certain, black people don't like them as well. So I think I can see where it can be stated that Asians doesn't. Again, it's not all Asians. It's not saying that just across the board. But I can see where there can be a hate for black people as well, because they feel like there's other minorities and we only focusing on black people. So I can't see where that misconception can be made to where it introduced hate into a community otherwise wouldn't be in there.
I mean, everybody entitled to their opinion, and once again, there's a lot of racist people in general. We as black people don't even like ourselves, or like each other. So it can go down the list on the line. So my shade of don't like your shade, right? When we go down the line, so it's all there until we come to the point where we realize all people is one. We can always say we don't like somebody for one reason or another.
Yeah, we put excuse behind the reason we're not liking. All right, so we got.
All right, so third one, third and final one. This may be a little bit controversial. So the third ruling was there was a woman in Colorado. She's a web designer, and Tavares told me earlier that she submitted, and he said it was a fictitious submission because nobody actually requested this. It was more hypothetical than anything. The web designer submitted to the Supreme Court that she shouldn't be forced to have to service gay people. Specifically, she didn't want to do things that go against her beliefs. So, like if there's a picture of two men kissing or two women kissing or a gay pride, something, she should have the right to refuse those services because it goes against her religion. So that's pretty much another ruling. They ruled in favor of her, saying that the ruling was, it was, what is the amendment? That you have the free speech amendment? I don't know which one it is.
First one.
The first one. Yeah,
amendment.
thank you.
First Amendment.
Thank you. The First Amendment that
Man, she gave her look like idiots. The first time I know that.
So basically, they're saying that by forcing her to do something or speak on something, they're infringing on her right to speech. The first one. It doesn't necessarily, that doesn't protect you just for saying something, but also protects you for not having to say something. So forcing her to work with it was against that First Amendment. So that's the ruling that came by from it. So just wanted to kind of get y'all thoughts on that. Timothy?
And before you start, added to, because Colorado just they passed a law requiring that you can't discriminate against a person based on their sex preference. So that's why she initiated once they passed that. I'm a little different, right? I feel like that when you have a private business, you have the opportunity a private business, a club, you have an opportunity to kind of make those restrictions based on sex, religion, and so forth. Because I just feel like you shouldn't have to make people hang or be around people that they don't want to be around. If you're not being, if you're not, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're not hurting anyone, you're not doing anything to where you're harming someone, I think you should have the option to kind of see who you want to hang out with, who you want to do business with. There's some type of, I get it. The reason we did is because what was going on in the 60s, because the way they were treating white people when they couldn't go to white only restaurants and water fountain, they did it in a manner. But I think if it's done in a manner to where if I start a men's club, I shouldn't have to be forced to have women there. Or if I start a club and I don't want to hang around white people, I should be okay with saying I don't want to hang around white people, or vice versa. If white people start a club and they want it only be white people, allow them to be white people and do their thing. I don't feel like that you should force them. Now that's private. Now we come to public. So when we have schools, you know what I'm saying, you have businesses or the government brand business like DMV and stuff like that is through the government. Yes, now we have a problem. That has to be for all, because when your taxes, it take taxes out of everybody on. So now you can't limit on where you can go. You can't limit if I want to go to DMV, tell me no, I can't go to this one for the white. You got to go to the black one. You get what I'm saying? Or if I'm saying I'm going to a library, I can't go say, oh, this library is for the white people. You got to go to the blacks. You get what I'm saying? Whereas a private business is up to you if you want to. If that The web designer want to limit herself to only do stuff to heterosexual people, and now she's losing money and eventually might go out of business, then I think that's on her. But as far as government facilities or things that receive funding from government, I think now that changed the rules on how it should look.
You, Tim?
What it's funny because when you think about it, you telling people they can't. You telling people you have to be open to everybody, which is you should have a business open to everybody. Then again, you're telling them how to run their own business, right? So that's like a catch-22. It's like, hey, government, I want to jump and tell you what to do with your business, but I also want to tell you what you can't do with the business. Then you have the government that's going to be able to rule everything. When I think about it, do I think she is wrong? I would say no per se, because she's choosing who her clientele is. Is she right in doing it? She's discriminating against a certain type of individuals. You're not supposed to discriminate against people, but me as a person or you as a business has the right to serve who you want. Is this reverting back to when we was going back into the 50s and 60s? It is kind of way, because they built their business based upon race, right? Like, I'm gonna only serve a certain clientele, and I'm okay with it. But it was wrong, because I should be able to take my business everywhere, right? But once again, it's your own. And just like Tavares was saying, if I choose to only serve a certain type of people, yes, I'm gonna miss out on a whole lot of market, and miss out on a whole lot of money. But it's my right to choose and do it that way. And do I think she's would I have did something like that? No, I'm open to everybody else, but we got to try to consider from what her point of view was. And I understand where she's trying to come from.
I don't. So her point of view is completely wrong, and she's using the veil of Christianity to try to say that it's right. She's using Christianity like a lot of people have done in the past, using it as a weapon as opposed to something that's supposed to bridge gaps between people and bring people together. The reason why Christianity is so prevalent today is because of what the Romans did. They used killing people in the name of Christ as, we're doing this in the name of Jesus. You're different from us. You got to come with us, either be with us or not be with us. That's why you still see fighting in the Middle East, because they want people to take on Christianity when they want to practice Judaism. I never could say that word. Judaism.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is people love to weaponize religion to, I guess, justify their evil intentions.
That's what not to cut you off. She said that the reason why she's doing it because of her religion,
her belief. She said
because of my beliefs. Okay.
My belief. She said I don't believe in same sex whatever. So I think she's just using that as a weapon to hide her I guess prejudice. You know what I mean? So
real quick, since you brought in her beliefs, I'm just asking a question. Just me asking questions. You have your beliefs, you have your morals.
Yeah.
Would you do something that goes against your beliefs and your morals?
For money?
For money?
What do you mean? Would I do something to go against my beliefs and my morals?
Yeah.
How hard is the question?
If the government, hold on, but the government is telling you have to. So meaning, whatever your belief is or whatever your moral is, and the government said by law, now you have to start going against it.
So you mean, give me the scenario. I'm in a public servant. So what am I?
Yeah, you own a business. You own a business and provide service to the public. And what law just came down goes against. Okay,
I was service people.
No. Hold on, boom. I got you. Boom. We gonna flip flop. Boom, boom. So now you own a business, and Trump won. DeSantis, because Trump, DeSantis more evil than Trump, right?
That belief's so good.
So DeSantis won. So he got the House. He got the
House in the Senate. In the
Senate. He got the Supreme Court. He got the parking lot. He got everything that he need to prime right. So now DeSantis said a law, and it passes that whites can only eat at certain places and blacks can only eat at certain places. And now you're labeled, so you provide a restaurant and they label you can only serve white people. Bang.
So what are you asking me?
So what I'm asking you is, are you going against the law that's just been made? Bing, bing. Now you said the law.
Obviously, I would have to abide by the law, but I mean, first I have to do a lot of amendments to make that happen. But if they I
gave you everything. He got is DeSantis. We know he evil, Chad.
Okay, but I'm about to answer.
Hold on, but don't change my.
I'm not changing it. I'm not changing.
Yes, because you just threw in there. I just want to make sure you said. Hold on, before you said you did like, well, of course you're gonna have to. But we know it. We in a different world right now. So
Right.
answer the question.
Right. But
You only can serve white people, and then Mel come, I come, and Kayla, we come and hey bro, we hungry.
all right, but if it's the law, I'm gonna abide by it.
So you gonna turn us back?
It's the law. What do you want me to do? Go to jail?
You're not going to jail. It's a fine.
It's a fine.
No jail. It's no jail. It's fine.
What you want me to get fined? Not paying your fine is jail time.
So you ready to go? So
you're going against your morals.
So you going
And
against
just-
tomorrow?
No, because my moral is to follow the law.
Oh,
But you know, as a Christian, you're supposed to save everybody, right?
Hold on.
No, it does not. The Bible
So,
says follow the lands of the law, so I will follow the land of the
So
law.
it supersedes, right? Supersedes. It's super. Okay. Only I was gonna say something, but me and here. So what I'm saying is, you said because it's a law, because there's certain laws in certain states that say you can't do certain things with cake,
Okay.
right? So what I'm saying is, you willing to sacrifice those activities with cake because the law says you can't, even though the Bible says a man and a woman can be together how they want to be together. So what I'm saying is, because the Bible also says that you should love everyone, and they show service in those and blah. You know, I can't give you all the texture because I used all my scripture verses up when we was prepping for this show. But what I'm saying is, you trying to tell me the law says you have to serve white people, you gonna let me, Mel, and Kayla walk away?
You're asking me about my moral compass and what I would do, and I'm telling you I will follow the law.
Okay,
And I would tell.
I got you. You right.
Hold on.
I got you.
So what I'm telling. What? So and what
The DeSantis get in here and he make you. I'm telling you.
So and this. But my final point is I don't want us to distract from the point.
No, you asked for a scenario. Okay. I gave you a scenario that goes against your moral, and you basically telling us you don't care about nothing as long as the law says it. So in those states you can't do nothing with cake. I got you. Go ahead.
But I don't get how that relates to her and using the Christianity to discriminate.
Yes, because I'm gonna tell you how it relates to her. A law came down in Colorado, Denver. I mean Colorado. I'm right, Colorado, and stated that she had to do X, Y, and Z. If you own a business in Colorado, you have to do X, Y, and Z. Right? They set that law, and within that law, with that law stating, if a gay person come to her, she has to service them based on the law. I have to follow the law. What she's saying is that goes against my moral compass,
which is a lie.
It's
what my point is.
no. Again,
You said
how
it's a
you?
lie?
Yeah, she's lying.
How you know she lying?
How you know? You don't know that lady. I'm not saying she's telling the truth either, but we just going on based on what
She didn't say my moral compass. She says the value based, like her religion or whatever the case may be. That's discrimination. Discrimination is illegal right now.
Whatever verbiage you want to use.
That's what I'm.
But what I'm saying is government. Well, what I'm saying is she was breaking the law, right? One was breaking the law by not servicing them, but on the other hand, right? She was in the Bible. It tell you that Peter can't be with Peter, right? So now which one do you uphold? Because again, she might be lying, but it does say it is in the Bible. They tell you that homosexuality is a sin. That is stated in the Bible. If her lying or not, that has nothing to do with she does. My same point I was telling you, if the laws are made something that goes against the Bible, right? How do you as an individual choose which one you following?
Because you have to abide by the laws.
So that supersedes sins.
Yes. Let me tell you why. You have to govern a nation with different people with broad laws. You can't go. Christianity is not the one all be all. As much I'm a devout Christian, I like Christianity, whatever the case may be, but I wouldn't want the United States to be ran based off of Christianity. Because now,
but it's not. But that's what I'm saying. You as what I think. Okay, this what I have a little bit more asking you. Rather, I might have stated wrong. So this what I'm saying to you is: do you fold?
Yes, because I will abide by the laws of the land.
Do you fold or you fight for? You saying you fight for integrity? You get what I'm saying?
No, you don't. Let me tell you why. You have. So this is what I'm saying.
Because you know they got some stupid laws.
The laws that are created needs to be for the people, all people, indivisible, one nation. right?
Indivisible?
Right, indivisible. That's what it is. Like you're not supposed to divide or what?
Okay, go ahead.
What? Did y'all not know that's what it says?
That's how you saying it. Carry on.
Indivisible is not the way it says. Am I wrong, Mia? It's the right way, right? Okay, I ain't tripping. So look, what I'm saying, like when you, that's like ruling this. Like if we, let's say this is a nation, this room, we have what 6 people in here right now, right? Mm. All 6 of us is different in our own way. But let's say Mia likes a certain she likes K-pop, right? That's like saying we're gonna govern this place based on K-pop. Everybody gotta listen to K-pop because K-pop is the right thing, right? Just because she thinks it's right, you as a Muslim person don't think it's right. You as a person who might be for Buddha doesn't think it's right. Like you get what I'm saying? Like hold on, wait, give me a second. Your individual morals, or religion. That's why they separate church and state. Because you can't drive, you cannot have that drive a nation because they always talking about, oh, we don't want to make it into not a dictatorship. What they always call the thing, not a dictatorship. What Fidel Castro was
communism.
They don't want to make it communism. That's making it communism when you're trying to lead a nation just by Christianity rules. You can't do that. No matter you have to be
all right. So
you have to be diverse.
Can I partake in some more hypotheticals?
Go ahead, man.
All right. So now, Ron DeSantis didn't win, right?
Okay.
What's her name? AOC, right? AOC won.
Who is that?
What's her name? Alexander Cortez. I don't know what the O stand for.
The Senate from New York.
Yeah, she who does a lot of strange stuff. So now she in. She got the House. She got the Senate. She got the parking lot. She got the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. Right. So now they make a law. They make a legislation, a law come in now that when men see each other, they got to kiss them in the mouth. Are you following the law? Are you following your morals?
Tavares, come on now.
What I'm asking you is,
that's the same. I just made a point that you can't make laws based off of your own individual views. You have to make laws that services everyone.
Yes,
that's obviously not servicing everybody.
Yes, again, if they make a law that you have to kiss, if you see another woman, you got to kiss her in the mouth. You see another man, you got to kiss him in the mouth.
Tavares, that's contradictory to what I just said.
No,
you can't make laws.
But every law, again, because I'm proving my point to you. What I'm saying is, yeah, I got to go find the laws, but there's a lot of laws that does not that pertains back to the old laws that pertain back to the 50s and 60s that doesn't pertain to all now. So you still have those laws. If someone chooses to enforce them, they do. So I'm giving you extreme cases again to where, because you saying your morals. What I'm telling you is, because basically all what you telling me is I'll break certain morals that I'm fine with breaking. But again, I'm asking you, are you kissing the man in the mouth or are you going to jail?
No, I'm saying.
Answer what I'm saying to you is, because all you're telling me is.
No, you're trying to trap me.
No, I'm not trying to trap you. Because what you're telling me is you're fine with discriminating against me, Mel, and Kayla. Because, who going to die? It's not, I get it's against my moral, but really, it's not going to affect me. I'm going to stick with the law. But what I'm telling you, something that really affects you, are you okay with kissing somebody in the mouth or going to jail?
No, I would not be okay with it. Because
but would you kiss them in the mouth? Because the law says so.
No, I can't. Tavares, you can't force anybody to do it. Like you
understand? Y'all, hold on, time out. Do y'all understand what I mean by he's preferencing? He's willing to. What I'm saying is, I get we getting caught up in you kissing men in the mouth, right? What I'm saying is.
Don't focus on kissing the man in the mouth. He just trying to put up a law that can't be extreme.
I want to pick something that I know you as a person will go against your morals, right? Because again, we will sacrifice. Because you will fight. You will sacrifice.
Can I say something?
Hold on, let me finish. Because I want you to make sure.
I get it. I promise you, I get it. I know what you're saying. But can I?
What I'm saying is, pick a moral that. Hold on, just finish you because you ready nod and open your mouth. Because I'm gonna rephrase the question for you.
Okay.
So. If they create a law that goes against one of the deepest moral thing that you have, that you know, if you cannot do, you probably might die over this. Mm-hmm. So you still would choose going to law and you would do that? Mm-hmm. Would? So
here's what I want us to stop the tracks on. So we're focusing on this woman's decision to fight the law. People break laws, question laws every single day. So it's not my decision that I'm questioning that I think is wrong. What I think is wrong is the Supreme Court's decision because they're in charge of making the laws. If they pass and say, yes, you need to kiss a man in the mouth, given all the constitutional things or whatever the case may be, then that's the problem that I have a issue with. I think they're being political. The woman, obviously, she is prejudiced. There's no way around it. She can say, oh, it's against my Christian beliefs. But if you don't do something, if you discriminate against somebody because of some personal thing, because they're different than what you're used to, you are someone who, if you're prejudiced. There's no way around it. You can say I'm a good Christian, you're prejudiced. Point blank. You get what I'm saying? I think the conservatives that are in the Supreme Justice are also siding with the right, because again, there were stories about Clarence Thomas being funded by all those type of things. So my issue is the Supreme Justice. People make wrong and bad decisions. So it's not about me accepting the law, not accepting the law, because we can say that with everything. You get what I'm saying? That's not the focus. The focus is that the people who are supposed to be molding this country, doing all these things, they made a wrong decision.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. It's like they supposed to do something that is helpful for everybody.
Everyone.
Right. And that's what they're not doing in these past 3 rulings. These rulings are not helpful for everybody. These rulings are helpful for a certain amount of people. Why those laws was created in the first place, right, was to do it to help everybody. So what the Supreme Court is saying, you know what, the hell with everybody. I'm going to just centralize one individual group, and that's all I care about.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones who fit my morals as Supreme Court justice. Not because of they fit all 9 of us. Remember, most of these things passed, what, the 6-3 or whatever it was on different issues. So they're trying to tell us
it went down party lines.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. So that's my fear. Like, I think all these decisions are, and I guess it's all politics.
It is.
But it's supposed that they're the Supreme Court. They're supposed to be there for justice. They're supposed to be there to interpret law and say what should go, what shouldn't go. And the fact that it's become political, is a shame. Like, I think the nation needs to be a nation of inclusive of everybody, inclusion rather than exclusion. No matter what we think as Christians, no matter what we think as different religions or whatever the case may be, the place that you live in needs to be comfortable for everybody. There's 350 million people in the United States. There's no way we can expect everybody to. You gotta like a man if you're a woman. You gotta like a woman if you're a man. You got like people are gonna be different. It's gonna be riots. You see what's happening in France. Like, you see what's happening in Russia. Like, people are gonna uprise if everything is the same. If it's this, like, we might as well just all be Mormons and whatever. If everybody's the same way. Like, you have to allow flexibility in law to where everybody's comfortable. And the reason why it's important, this specific decision is important, is because discrimination is a slippery slope, right? The affirmative action getting struck down is a slippery slope. What's going to happen? Reverse, what do you call it? Segregation is going to happen. So I guess segregation is that diversity?
Put it back in again.
So basically, they're going to force. So black people are like, what? If they don't accept you, just go to HBCUs. More people are going to go to HBCUs. Just go to the PWIs. White people go to the PWIs. Now all you're doing is the thing that makes us this nation is the fact that we're diverse. We're the most diverse nation in the world. Like, Russians are a bunch of white people. Asia, like China, you're going to see a bunch of Chinese people. You're not going to see much diversity. United States is the most. That's what makes us powerful. And the minute we start going to the right, because these loony people want to be like, oh, our white race is declining, the birth rates are going down, or whatever the case may be, is the moment that you're going to see like unrest again. Like, you get what I mean? So I'm just saying, to me, it was just a dangerous precedence to set it there. And the fact that the people on the right are saying that when we like propel or give substance to people saying, oh, gay, it's okay to discriminate against gay, like, there's no end. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my belief or whatever. Somebody else can say, oh, it's my belief not to like black people, or it's my belief not to like Asian people, it's my belief not to like short people, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's like a slippery slope, and it's gonna be divisive. Like, you know what I mean? So that's why you should say, if they just passed the rule that says we should not take in consideration any race, that was a main argument, then when it comes to accepting anything else, you shouldn't take in race, religion, or sex. Imagine the application denying you because they don't believe in the fact that you gay in school. A private school even. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to me. That's all I'm saying.
So basically, you saying is because you I guess you're gonna be a politician because you didn't answer my question about your laws and what your more deepest moral, but
No, I wouldn't. I have to break that law. I would have to go to jail because
Now, you know, for me, like I stated before, when it comes to this, it goes back into what we said before a year ago. It's all about the people we put in office, right? When we went out there to vote, when it was time for Hillary and Donald Trump, we didn't go out there and vote like we were supposed to because we were so hung up on the divisiveness, right, that between us. So we figured, get Trump in office. Putting Trump in office has put in what we're going through right now. The majority of people that he put into elected to the Supreme Court is going against everything that this country stood for, right? We wanted to make sure everybody was included. We wanted to make sure that everybody had equal rights. We wanted to make sure that women had the right to choose, right? And what's been happening in the past year? All those things that's been happening is because we as an individual did not go out there and vote, right? Because we decided, oh, man, my vote don't count. Oh, man, I don't want Hillary to win because Hillary blah, 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 blah. So we didn't go vote that year. And what happened? Donald Trump got in. So we can't blame nothing what these people are going through, but ourselves as the United States and as a community, and especially as black people, because we didn't go out there and do what we supposed to do, because we wanted to stand back and watch somebody else do it for us. And that's my problem. These individuals do not care about anybody else but themselves on that Supreme Court. And we can't get mad at it because we had the opportunity to make a difference and we didn't do it. Right? Yes, it's wrong to strike down Roe versus Wade. Brass is wrong was to turn over
why think they did
administration.
Why you think that happened?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
why think they shut down Roe versus Wade?
Listen to them. I understand what you're saying, right? Because now they're thinking they doing all of this because they're thinking the white race is being threatened.
Not even that. You know what they used as a weapon again?
Christianity.
No, I understand. Terrell, I understand.
So you advise that we don't be Christians?
No. Why do you go for it?
He because it's true. So go ahead, Mark. Finish up. I know we always got to get out of here.
So again, this was just from my standpoint. We had 3 major rulings come down from the Supreme Court that will impact us going forward, and I really feel like that this, in my opinion, I think this had to happen for us to have the realization how important voting is, how important that we do get into politics. Because oftentimes we like, nah, we not interested. We don't make those efforts. And I think educating ourselves and putting ourselves in a position to where it allows us to better understand what certain legislation, certain laws would do if passed or created, how it impact our local government, national government as a whole. So I think we need to do a better job as a community, and I think that's across the board with all, because again, although a lot of the politicians represented by whites and a lot of people that do votes and so forth, they focus as white people, but I think everybody needs to go to the poll and kind of think about and understand what they're voting for and the people that they're voting for and how it will impact, because Trump will be, because he was able to put in, I think he put in 3 justices, didn't he?
3 or 4, yeah.
3 justices to where he shifted the courts in his favor of Republicans. So I think we just got to be a little bit more mindful of what we do and how we vote. I'm not saying that you have to be a Democrat or Republican. If you're fine with everything that was voted, that's fine. As long as you vote, I'm okay with that. But just giving everybody the opportunity to be put their input in what we want to do as a society. So again, I want to thank everybody for listening, supporting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. The more you
And
like,
comment,
subscribe,
please.
and comment. Just tell us what you
comment
think
on the stuff, please.
or how you feel. Will be greatly appreciated. So it's your boy Dean,
Tim.
Teran.
and another episode of the Dean's Office. Yo.
Yo.